What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different that I've never done before. We are going to be making the candy from Squid Game. Now I'm not sure if it's Dalgona or Dalgona candy, but either way I've been doing a lot of research on how to make this candy and I'm going to show you how to do it today. So first I'm going to start off by showing you what ingredients that you're going to need or what items that you're going to need from your kitchen. A lot of these things you probably already have in your home, which is super convenient, and it's really a really simple recipe. You only need 3 ingredients, really only 2, but you do need cooking spray. I'm not sure if that counts as an ingredient. So you need granulated sugar, so just regular sugar that you would bake with, and then baking soda or baking powder. And then the items that you're gonna need is you're gonna need a small non-stick skillet. You're gonna need some baking sheets with parchment paper on them. So I've already lined my baking sheets with parchment paper. You're gonna need a metal measuring cup, and this is what you're gonna use to flatten your cookie once you've made it, or your candy once you've made it. And then you're gonna need cookie cutters to cut out your shapes. So these are actually Play-Doh cutters. We were not able to find these shapes of cookie cutters at the store. All they had was like a circle. So I thought, okay, well let's get the Play-Doh cutters and just use those for the cookies, and it works just fine. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna spray this stuff down with cooking spray, because this melted sugar essentially is very sticky and it's gonna stick to like everything. So the more cooking spray, the better. You're also gonna want a pair of chopsticks, preferably metal chopsticks, but these are just some wooden chopsticks that I have to stir your sugar as it's melting. You preferably don't wanna use your utensils in your house because the sugar will stick to your utensils and it's really hard to get off. So to start off, I've already got my baking soda in a bowl here. It just makes it easier to pinch it and grab it when I'm making the candy. You'll see how I do that later on when I'm actually making it, but it's just a lot more convenient to have it on the side like this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spray my parchment paper and my cutouts and my metal measuring cup. I know that parchment paper is supposed to be non-stick, but I don't really trust it and I don't want my cookies sticking to this parchment paper. So like I said, the more cooking spray, the better. Okay, so now that we have got all of that sprayed and ready to go, we are going to put our pan on the stove, and that's gonna be heating at a medium heat. And you wanna let it sit there and heat up for a few minutes before you put the sugar in there. Otherwise, when you put the sugar in there, it's gonna take forever. All right guys, so like I said, we're gonna go ahead and put this on a medium heat. We're gonna let it heat up for a few minutes before we put our sugar in. Another thing that I forgot to tell you that you need is a 1 tablespoon measuring spoon. This is gonna be for your sugar. You're gonna use 2 tablespoons of sugar and then a pinch of baking soda. All right guys, so this part is gonna move kind of fast, so just try to follow along. So you are gonna put 2 tablespoons of your granulated sugar into your pan, just like that. And then you're going to get your chopstick and you're going to start stirring that sugar. Now it might take a couple of minutes, so just be patient with it. You're just going to continuously stir that sugar. All right, as you can see, it's starting to melt a little bit now. You just keep stirring, Gotta be patient with it. You don't wanna cook it too fast, because if you cook it too fast, it's gonna burn. And then if it burns, it's not gonna form correctly. When it starts to get kinda goopy like this, I like to turn the pan to the side and let it all come down here so that it groups together and I can stir it all pretty consistently. So you don't have one part that's getting more heat than the other. You can also do this with a metal ladle, but I don't have one of those, so we're just using a chopstick today. And a pan, and you see those little sugar granulations in there. You do not want big old clumps of sugar, so you want to make sure that those get melted down. Okay, we're looking pretty good here, so I'm going to go ahead and take it off the heat, and we're going to come over to the baking soda. I'm going to put a couple pinches of baking soda in there, and then you're going to stir it. You want to stir it until it gets aerated, so you want to see some air bubbles in there. You're going to move pretty quickly over to your parchment paper here. While you're aerating it, I still don't have any air bubbles, so I'm going to keep stirring for a minute. All right, I see a few air bubbles popping up. I want to see a couple more before I pour it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pour this cookie here. Just like so. Try to get it in a nice round shape so I don't have to do too much shaping. And then pour number 2 over here. That one's gonna probably be kind of small. That's okay. And then Make sure this guy's nice and greased up, which I think he is. We'll just add a little bit more, and then you're gonna shape it. You wanna push it to about 1/4 inch, just like that, just like that. And then you're gonna get your shape and you're gonna push it in just like a cookie cutter. You don't wanna push it too hard in, otherwise your cookie will break, but just kind of lightly like that. Pull it up. I know that one's kind of small and they're a little bit uneven, but those are the finished cookies. All right guys, so I know these cookies are not perfect, or the candy is not perfect, but it takes a little bit of work to get the right shape. Maybe make a little bit bigger of a batch, double up the ingredients, and you can make bigger cookies. But as you can see here, it hardens really quickly. So it's still a little bit warm, but it is already hardened. And this apparently is supposed to taste like a honeycomb. All right guys, so that was how you make the Dalgona cookie from Squid Games, or the Dalgona candy from Squid Games. So for those of you who have not seen Squid Games, the premise of this game is that the character has to cut out the shape without breaking the shape itself, like out of the cookie. And they gave them like these little needles to cut the shape out of it. And if you didn't get it right, then you got eliminated. For those of you who've seen the show, you know what that means. But I'm gonna take actually this little square one here now and see how well I would have done in Squid Games. So I'm gonna break it off. Let's see if I can get it. Doing pretty good. I don't know if it being warm has anything to do with it. But okay, look, I got the square out. Look at that. That is a perfect square, you guys. Let's give it a taste. Whoa. It's pretty good. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching my video on how to make this Squid Games candy. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put it down in the comment section. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. I'll see you guys in my next video. Honey Bottom out. All right guys, so I just wanted to give you a quick little update at the end of my video and show you what my cookies look like after I experimented a little bit more on making the cookies. So as you can see, this one here was a little more round than my first one that I made. So the more that you do it, the better that you get at it. Just don't give up. All right guys, so one last thing before I let you go, I just wanted to show you something. All right guys, so you see right here that blister on my finger, which is ew, gross. So I actually burned my finger when I was making this candy. So I just wanted to like put a little PSA at the end that if you are gonna do this, please be careful, because when you heat the sugar, it gets very, very hot. And I made the mistake of losing control of one of the chopsticks when I was transferring the sugar over. And so the chopstick with the hot sugar just like went into my finger and burned it, and it hurt really bad. So I just wanted to warn you guys to please be careful, because the sugar does get really, really hot. But I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.